Welcome to Curiosity, the podcast where science meets wonder. Join us as we explore the fascinating, the innovative, and the unexpected, from the secrets of the cosmos to the marvels of everyday life. Each episode takes you on a journey to uncover the knowledge and stories that fuel our endless quest for understanding. Let your curiosity guide you.
The Harmony of Time, Tracing the History of Music. The history of music is a story of human creativity, emotion, and the quest for expression through sound. It intertwines with the development of culture, technology, and science, reflecting humanity's evolving understanding of the world. Music's journey begins in the mists of prehistory, where its roots are found in the simplest of rhythms and melodies. These primal expressions, created using the human voice, simple percussion, or natural instruments like bone flutes, were the foundation of what would later become complex systems of music. The origins of music are tied to the fundamental need for communication, storytelling, and ritual. Early humans likely discovered the musical potential of their voices while mimicking natural sounds or creating patterns to accompany ceremonies. Rhythm, the heartbeat of music, emerged as an imitation of natural cycles and human motion, providing structure to early compositions. These initial experiments evolved into more organized musical expressions, forming a key element of community identity and spiritual practices. A crucial development in the history of music was the discovery and use of scales. Scales are sets of musical notes ordered by pitch, forming the framework of melodies and harmonies. The earliest evidence of scales dates back to ancient Mesopotamia and Egypt, where musicians used rudimentary systems based on simple ratios of string lengths. These ratios corresponded to intervals that were pleasing to the ear, laying the groundwork for the musical scales we know today. The pentatonic scale, containing 5 notes per octave, is among the oldest and most universal, appearing independently in various cultures, from Asian to African and indigenous music. The ancient Greeks made significant contributions to the theoretical understanding of music. Philosophers like Pythagoras studied the relationship between sound and mathematics, discovering that vibrating strings produced harmonious intervals when their lengths were in simple ratios, such as 2, 1 or 3, 2. These discoveries not only influenced music theory but also connected music with the cosmic order, as the Greeks believed in a music of the spheres, where celestial bodies emitted harmonious sounds based on their movements. This link between music and the natural world deepened humanity's fascination with sound and its organization. The development of musical notation was another transformative moment in music history. Early civilizations, such as the Sumerians, used primitive forms of notation to record musical ideas. However, it was in medieval Europe that notation became standardized, with systems that allowed for the precise recording of pitch and rhythm. The invention of the staff and the use of neumes marked a significant leap, enabling composers to create more complex and reproducible works. This innovation not only preserved musical traditions but also fostered collaboration and experimentation. Musical notes, the building blocks of melodies and harmonies, are based on specific frequencies of sound. These frequencies are vibrations per second, measured in Hz/Hz. The modern Western musical system uses 12 notes within an octave, derived from the division of sound frequencies into equal tempered intervals. This system allows for versatile modulation and harmony, making it a cornerstone of classical and contemporary music alike. The standard pitch, A440, designates the note A above middle C at 440 Hz, serving as a tuning reference across the globe. Music, deeply rooted in both science and art, is a reflection of humanity's journey through time. From the earliest rhythms and melodies to the mathematical elegance of scales and frequencies, it encapsulates our quest to understand and express the intangible. As civilizations advanced, music became an integral part of cultural identity, religious practice, and intellectual exploration. The ancient world saw the rise of distinct musical traditions, each shaped by regional innovations, instruments, and scales. In ancient Mesopotamia, cuneiform tablets detailed early compositions, while in Egypt, music flourished as part of religious ceremonies and royal entertainment. The harp, lyre, and flute were among the earliest instruments, their sounds resonating in temples and courts, providing a soundtrack to human history. In India, the origins of music were intertwined with spiritual practices, giving rise to systems like the raga and tala. These frameworks define the melodic and rhythmic foundations of Indian classical music, emphasizing improvisation and emotional expression. The concept of specific scales and rhythms tied to moods, seasons, or times of day revealed the profound connection between music and the human experience. Similarly, in China, the pentatonic scale dominated traditional music, reflecting harmony with nature and Confucian ideals. Instruments such as the guqin, pipa, and eru became emblematic of Chinese musical heritage. The Greco-Roman world contributed significantly to the intellectual foundation of music. Greek philosophers like Plato and Aristotle explored its psychological and moral effects, while mathematicians such as Pythagoras linked musical intervals to numerical ratios, laying the groundwork for Western music theory. The Romans, inheriting much from the Greeks, incorporated music into their daily lives, using it for entertainment, military signaling, and religious rites. The cultural exchange between these civilizations enriched their musical legacies, influencing later developments in Europe and beyond. The Middle Ages marked a transformative era for music, particularly in Europe. The Christian Church became the dominant patron of music, fostering the development of Gregorian chant. These monophonic, unaccompanied vocal melodies, standardized by Pope Gregory I, were designed to enhance liturgical worship. The use of modes, precursors to modern scales, added depth and emotional nuance to these chants. During this time, notation evolved further, with neumes becoming more precise and eventually leading to the creation of the staff, which allowed for the clear representation of pitch. Secular music also thrived in the Middle Ages, with troubadours and minstrels spreading their songs across courts and villages. These performers blended local traditions with broader influences, creating a rich tapestry of melodies and storytelling. The introduction of polyphony, the simultaneous combination of multiple independent melodies, revolutionized music. Composers like Léonin and Periton of the Notre Dame school began experimenting with intricate vocal harmonies, paving the way for more complex compositions in the Renaissance. The Renaissance, often called the Golden Age of Polyphony, witnessed an explosion of creativity and innovation in music. Composers like Josquin des Prez and Palestrina mastered the art of interweaving melodies, producing works of profound beauty and sophistication. The invention of the printing press allowed for the widespread dissemination of musical scores, democratizing access to music and fostering a shared cultural heritage across Europe. This era also saw the development of temperaments, systems for tuning instruments, enabling the exploration of new keys and harmonies. Beyond Europe, music in other parts of the world continued to evolve. African traditions emphasized rhythm and call-and-response structures, laying the foundation for genres like blues, jazz, and gospel. In the Americas, indigenous peoples developed rich musical traditions that integrated voice, percussion, and wind instruments, often tied to spiritual and ceremonial practices. The blending of these diverse influences in the wake of global exploration and colonization would later create entirely new musical genres. As the understanding of musical notes and frequencies deepened, instrument makers refined their craft to produce more consistent tones. The development of stringed instruments, such as the violin and lute, allowed for greater expressive range, while advancements in keyboard instruments, like the harpsichord and clavichord, expanded harmonic possibilities. The connection between science and music became even more pronounced, with studies on acoustics and resonance leading to innovations in instrument design and performance. By the close of this era, music had become an intricate interplay of culture, science, and artistry. The foundations laid during these centuries, scales, notation, instruments, and theoretical frameworks, would shape the future of music, ensuring its continued evolution as a reflection of human ingenuity and emotion. The transition into the Baroque era marked a dramatic shift in musical expression, characterized by ornate compositions, emotional depth, and technical innovation. Composers like Johann Sebastian Bach, George Frideric Handel, and Antonio Vivaldi exemplified this period, crafting works that showcased the evolving relationship between melody, harmony, and rhythm. The development of tonality, using major and minor scales as structural foundations, became a cornerstone of Western music, enabling a richer exploration of emotional contrasts. Baroque music also introduced new forms and styles, such as the concerto, sonata, and opera. The concerto grosso and solo concerto highlighted the dynamic interplay between soloists and ensembles, while the opera combined music, drama, and stagecraft into a unified art form. Instruments like the harpsichord, organ, and violin gained prominence, and composers exploited their capabilities to create intricate, expressive works. As the classical era emerged in the mid-18th century, a preference for clarity, balance, and form took center stage. Composers like Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, Joseph Haydn, and Ludwig van Beethoven refined musical structures, particularly the sonata form, symphony, and string quartet. These forms emphasized thematic development and logical progression, reflecting Enlightenment ideals of order and reason. The forte piano, a precursor to the modern piano, became a central instrument, allowing for greater dynamic and expressive range. Beethoven's works bridged the classical and romantic periods, pushing the boundaries of form and emotional expression. The Romantic era, which followed, was defined by its focus on individualism, emotion, and the sublime. Composers such as Franz Schubert, Johannes Brahms, and Richard Wagner expanded the scope of music, incorporating nationalistic themes, programmatic storytelling, and richer harmonic language. This period also saw the expansion of orchestras and the invention of new instruments, including the tuba and saxophone, which added depth and variety to musical textures. As the 19th century gave way to the 20th, music underwent revolutionary transformations. The advent of modernism brought experimentation and the rejection of traditional norms. Composers like Igor Stravinsky, Arnold Schoenberg, and Claude Debussy explored new scales, such as whole tone and 12-tone systems, challenging conventional ideas of melody and harmony. Jazz emerged as a powerful force, blending African rhythms, blues scales, and improvisation, influencing a wide array of musical styles worldwide. The 20th century also witnessed the rise of electronic music, fueled by advancements in technology. The invention of synthesizers, tape recording, and later digital audio revolutionized music production and composition. Composers like Karlheinz Stockhausen and John Cage embraced these innovations, pushing the boundaries of sound and redefining what music could be. Meanwhile, popular music genres like rock, pop, and hip-hop reshaped the cultural landscape, blending traditional and modern elements in unprecedented ways. Music theory and acoustics continued to evolve, providing deeper insights into the relationship between sound and perception. The integration of global musical traditions enriched the palette of scales and rhythms, fostering cross-cultural collaborations and hybrid genres. In the present day, music thrives as a universal language, encompassing an incredible diversity of styles, traditions, and technologies. The digital revolution has democratized access to music creation and distribution, empowering artists and audiences worldwide. Streaming platforms, virtual instruments, and artificial intelligence are reshaping how music is composed, performed, and experienced, continuing the evolution that began with the first scales and instruments millennia ago. From its earliest roots in prehistoric rituals to the sophisticated compositions of today, music remains a testament to human creativity and emotional expression. Its history reflects the continuous interplay between cultural, scientific, and technological forces, ensuring its enduring role as a vital part of human civilization. The journey of music, from simple melodies to complex symphonies and digital soundscapes, is a profound narrative of innovation, adaptation, and connection.